What's happening, everybody? Atheris here. Just got another Hulk in. Check it out. This is Sideshow Collectibles Gladiator Hulk from the Planet Hulk storyline. This is their premium format. And man, is this thing sweet. Came out much better than I was expecting, I'll tell you that much. After the whole fiasco with Apocalypse that I got last month, I didn't have high hopes for this when it was shipped. I was dreading the worst, but it actually came out very, very well. Paint application is actually spot on. I don't see any slop anywhere, to be honest. And I looked over this thing thoroughly. So they did a really great job on the paint application. The color of the green that they used on them, I love, actually. It's one of my favorite pieces now. It's in probably my top 10 favorite Hulks in my collection. And like I said, the color and the paint app that they did on it is fantastic. I love these yellow kind of highlight spots that they put on it, on his chest, his pecs, his abs, places like that. Very, very well done. Very impressed. He's huge, by the way. He's absolutely huge. I think to the top of his feather things there, he's like 29 inches, 30 inches or something like that. So he's very, very big and heavy. Holy fuck, is this guy heavy. This is one of those rare pieces when Sideshow lists on their website, on their product page, that something's going to weigh 50 pounds, it actually shows up weighing 50 pounds. But quite honestly, it actually feels like it weighs more than that, just because the base feels solid, the body almost feels solid. I know it's not solid, but it's definitely a much thicker cast than was used on previous pieces I have of similar size, especially Apocalypse. That thing was a lightweight compared to this. But the base, I think the base is solid because it's extremely heavy all by itself. But overall, very well done. Detail everywhere. Like even like his boots here. I'm gonna try to get in close. Almost look like a fabric or a leather of some kind. That's how well they're done. Even this on his wrist, this leatherette type of stuff on his wrist, I thought was a real fabric or a real leather, but it's actually just painted on. It's actually done that well. This actually looked more real to me than the actual fabric or leatherette that they used for his kilt. So excellent paint job all around. The shield that he has here is fucking massive. It's literally look at this. Here's my hand on it, and if I attach like a wooden dowel to this thing, I could probably shovel my driveway with it. That's how big it is. And the sword as well. Jeez, the sword. Look at this thing. Actually, you know what? Let me get in close and I'll show you this thing. The sword is literally a sword. Like, it's a dagger. Look at that. It's a dagger for me. It's a sword for a small child. Look at the size of this thing. Overall, very, very well done too. I love all the weathering, not the weathering, the battle damage done to this. The paint application is great. I know I keep saying that, but I'm actually shocked at how well the paint application came out on this thing. Let me get in close in the face here. Look at that. No googly eyes. Happy. I'm very happy about that. Sideshow, I don't know, man. They got a thing with googly eyes every now and then. Check this out. Like all the paint job on the leather work here. There's no overlap. It's not sloppy at all. It's great. I'm very happy with it. Look at this. Look at how clean that is. Texturing on his skin, very well done. The kilt, the kilt's another matter. Okay, so this is the only piece or part that it kind of loses marks on for me personally. Is the kilt, because those of you that remember this piece, that when it was shown at San Diego Comic-Con, or even if you go to Sideshow's product page, this is not what was shown with the prototype. And I understand that, you know, you're not going to get exactly what the prototype is for a production piece, but something close would have been nice. And this isn't that close. The one that they used on the prototype, or the one that was shown, had much thicker leather than this for his kilt. You can see here, this stuff is like paper thin, and it feels cheap. It just feels cheap, unfortunately. I mean, it looks okay. It accomplishes what it's supposed to do. It's a kilt, right? So they got all that down, but the look that it originally had, with the much thicker leather, it looked like quality thick stuff that would suit the Hulk, you know what I mean? It was even a different color than this. This is like a washed out browny muddied color. The original prototype, I think it was more of like a grayish, not a gray, but it was darker. It was darker. So kind of killer for me. I hate when Sideshow does like these bait and switches where, you know, they show one thing and then it shows up completely opposite of what was shown. It's not bad, but it loses points in my book for that. But overall, I mean, it still looks good from a distance, as you can tell. So, very nice. I'm going to take off some of the parts here in a minute to show you how everything comes apart. I just wanted to give you a quick 360 and close-up of some of the details on this piece. The obedience disc comes off as well. Let me just turn this around. We got some flaring going on again. The obedience disc comes off. It's magnetic. And that's not the exclusive either, guys. This piece actually didn't have any exclusive. I believe it's just limited to 3,000 pieces, which I don't believe they'll have a hard time selling. This piece came out pretty well, and I think word's gotten out that it came out very well. So it's probably gonna sell out pretty quick or pretty soon after this now. So if you've been waiting to see how this came out, or what the reviews are, pictures, how the quality came out in hand, you're gonna be happy with it. I'll tell you right now, you're gonna be extremely happy with it. Sideshow did good here. Let me just put this back down. So Sideshow did really good here. I'm going to take off this shield. This is the only thing that kind of bugs me about this piece, and I was kind of hesitant about ordering this initially, because as you guys know, those of you that know me, I'm a huge Hulk fan and nut. So I was going to order this regardless, but what I was hoping they would have with this is a switch out piece for his left arm here. As you can see, the shield, this is what I had a problem with, is that it covered, if you're going to display him from this angle with him looking at you, this shield covers a good chunk of the sculpt. It covers his legs, his entire arm almost, his waist, a little bit of his torso. Like it's cool, but I would have preferred that they included like a mace or an axe or something like that as a switch out instead of this giant shield. It's cool, but you kind of have to display it like that. And now he's not really looking at you, but I would have preferred it came with something else. But what Sideshow did instead, they decided to double dip the sculpt, which pissed off a few people, including myself. Instead of just adding those extra parts in, all they did was take the exact same sculpt and statue and put it out as King Hulk, and gave him a different head. I think it was, they gave him a different head, so he's wearing his tiara or his little crown thing, and they switched out his armor. His armor on his arm is like now cleaner and polished, and he holds an axe instead. Other than that, oh yeah, and his loincloth, there's not his loincloth. Instead of a kilt, he's got more of a loincloth, so it looks cleaner, right? So that's basically King Hulk that they put out right after this up for pre-order, and that pissed off a few people, because now you gotta, instead of just adding these couple switch out parts to this as options for $600, you have to now buy an entirely different not different statue, you have to buy a whole other statue just to get a few switch out parts, which is essentially the same statue, the same sculpt, same everything, same pose, which it's kind of shady. It's not, well, not shady, but It's slimy, put it that way, because, you know, for international customers, this is a $600 piece, I think it was. I can't really remember. By the time you get it over the border overseas, I'm in Canada. By the time you ship this over here with customs and all the rest of that, this is more like a $900 piece with shipping and everything. So it sucks that they did that. I don't think it was necessary, but, you know, it is what it is. So let me just take off this shield. Let me stop rambling here. And this is the inside of the shield for those of you that are curious what that looks like. Oops. Again, very strong magnet in the middle there. Focus, there we go. You can see it's a huge piece. Literally, I can shovel my driveway with this. But anyway, there's his arm. And this is why I wish they included something different, because, or for a switch out, because he's got a lot of cool detail and beat up armor here that would be nice to show off. Like even in the back here. It's too bad. But it's still an awesome sculpt regardless. This comes off magnetic. Let me show you the oops. Let me show you the sword. And this is held on by a very strong magnet as well. All the magnets are actually oversized, I think, for this piece, which I'm happy about, so you don't have to worry about anything falling out. But look at this thing. Massive. But very well done. The underside of this actually has a different paint job, I noticed, than the outside. This is more of like a grayish gunmetal silver. This has like a bluey purpley type of hue to it. Very well done. Sits in there very nice. The head, obviously detachable. Get a close-up of that. Again, no googly eyes. Very nicely done. The feathers on his helmet up here are plastic. You can see they're bendable there. Same with this side piece of the helmet. So you don't have to worry about any breakage there in transit. Very nice. And let me just put the shield back on. So that's it, guys. The only other little nitpick I might have with this is that the base came out very blah. They could have added a little more shading to it. It's just gray, basically. This comes off. It's magnetic. Same with that piece in the back, that little teapot thing there. It's magnetic. But overall, very, very great piece. So glad I got it in the collection. I'm probably going to bring it to Fan Expo, actually. Stan Lee's going to be there. Going to see if I can get him to sign the base, make it a little more unique. But yeah, that's it, guys. Sideshow Collectibles, Gladiator Hulk. Pick it up if you can. It's an awesome piece. You're kind of obligated to get this if you're a Hulk nut. Sweet, sweet piece. And that's it. Get them while you can, while they're still there, because these are probably going to go pretty quick now. And that's it. I'm going to do a next video on Pop Culture Shock's Scorpion Bust. I just got that in about a week ago. I want to say a couple days ago. And that's it. So look for that. Thanks for looking, guys. Take care. Later.